The police here, it's a little different than in the States. I've been pulled over a lot. And the first time I was super scared, and everybody's like, nah, they just want a few just when it comes to like physical violence. Um, I find it here, it's just not the same vibe. People don't even want to get really into car accidents here. Like, it's a lot of people honking at you, but it's not a lot of car accidents because nobody really wants to hit you out here. Yeah. So it's a different culture, right? I was explaining that to my kids. Like, I drive here all the time now. And that was the first thing, was like I was scared somebody was gonna hit me or I was gonna hit them. It was late at night. And we were like, yo, she's walking and nobody's there with her. She didn't seem alarmed. And there's a reason for that, because the States is a hyper, for us, not just African Americans, but other folks throughout the diaspora who've been misled. Ghana's a proper introduction to like what the continent has to offer. It's safe, it's growing. It's
Epic it was. Remember to like and share to this amazing video. But before you introduce yourself, thank you so much for always subscribing, liking, and sharing. I'm here with
Dr. James E. Ford from Charlotte, North Carolina, originally from Rockford, Illinois.
what brought you to Ghana.
My wife is from Ghana. My wife is Ghanaian. We've been wanting to come here for years. My first time coming was in 2019, and now this is like my sixth or seventh time coming here. So I love it here, man.
How did you meet your wife?
I met her in college. Okay. Yeah, I was going to school, and I was always Pan-African. So I was a fan of African beauty and so on. And so when I met her in class, we became friends. But my intention was always to make her my girlfriend, eventually my wife. So 21 years now.
The time that you met your partner,
yeah.
How did you take it when it wasn't cool to be an African?
Yeah, it wasn't. And that's one of the things she said that surprised her about me, is that I was always raised Pan-Africanist by my parents. Even though I'm African-American ethnically, they always taught us that you're part of the African diaspora, always, And so, when I met her and I found out she's from Ghana, I was like, oh, you're from Ghana? She was surprised about why I was excited. And she was always, when she immigrated to the States, kind of taught to diminish that. It wasn't cool to be African, what have you. So I think she was surprised when I was like, not only was it all right, but I was intrigued by it and excited. So for me, look, I have enough knowledge of self and enough knowledge of history that, I know that we all, even if we got our own different tribes or ethnic groups, we're one people. At the end of the day, like I don't abide by these artificial lines, right? Not to the extent that I'm going to treat people different. And so when she introduced me to a lot of different things, I started learning a little bit of language on my own. She introduced me to, fufu and kenke, and you know what I mean? And so it was a cool cultural exchange, African-American culture and then Ghanaian-American culture. I've always enjoyed that.
So she cooks for you. What's your favorite food about her?
Man, I had to say okra soup, man, and kenke, man.
Yeah. And okra soup is okra in.
Yeah, kabium.
How's it kabium?
Oh, okay.
How is Ghana treating you so far?
Ghana's been beautiful. I'm here with my family, our 4 kids. This is their second time being here. I love Ghana. I think Ghana has done a fantastic job for a lot of people, and I think you can attest to this. It's their introduction to the continent. Okay. You got to give credit to the year return for opening it up, but also letting people see that, like, and this is why you're so important, right? Okay. That if you focus only on the dominant media narratives about Africa, you're gonna be in the dark. You'll be deliberately misled. Coming here, people see folks who look like them. It's a whole lot of hustle in Ghana, a lot of hard workers out here. Ghana is not short on people who are scared of hard work. You know what I mean? Like, everybody out here is ready to be entrepreneurial and to put energy behind their work. But then there's a lot of natural beauty, lots of cuisine. I mean, it's just a lot to offer here. And so I think that for us, not just African Americans, but other folks throughout the diaspora who've been misled, Ghana's a proper introduction to like what the continent has to offer. It's safe, it's growing, it's developing.
How is Ghana safe to you, comparing it to the state?
Man, I see women walking down the street at nighttime unaccompanied.
Okay.
Me and my wife were commenting on that. I forget where we were coming down. One might have been Spintex or something, but it was late at night. And we were like, yo, she's walking and nobody's there with her. She didn't seem alarmed. And there's a reason for that, because the States is a hyper violent, oftentimes hyper individualistic community. And so that makes for, a lot of challenges when it comes to like physical violence. I find it here, it's just not the same vibe. People don't even want to get really into car accidents here. Like, it's a lot of people honking at you, but it's not a lot of car accidents because nobody really wants to hit you out here. Yeah. So it's a different culture, right? I was explaining that to my kids. They're like, I haven't seen no car accidents. Nobody really trying to
So,
hit you out.
is this something normal that you've been seeing it like multiples of times in the
Yeah,
state?
it's the same. So I drive here all the time now. And that was the first thing was like I was scared somebody was gonna hit me or I was gonna hit them. Nobody really want to hit you. They might curse at you out the window or honk at you, but there's an order to it, and it's an order of accommodation. It looks different, and so I find it to be like a metaphor for how Ghanaian culture operates. Right? It's like nobody really trying to do you no harm. You know what I mean? There might be some aggressiveness, or we might be loud, but that's just us.
But what are some of the things that you think we can better off in terms of what you have witnessed and you feel like, oh, if they could have done this and this better?
So listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? You asking me an honest question. Obviously, it's not something Ghanaians don't know, but infrastructure development, the roads, the drainage systems, but Ghanaians know that too, right? It's not anything that I'm pointing out that folks here don't already know. The average Ghanaian is very politically astute. I will say that. You get in the cab with somebody, they have lots of political opinions. Folks are very well informed. So I've heard them say some of the same things we're talking about here. But yeah, that's an area that I hope that as it opens up and as tourism becomes a larger part of the economy, they're able to funnel monies back into developing and upgrading the infrastructure. The other thing is, I'll be honest here, some of the police here, it's a little different than in the States. I've been pulled over a lot. And the first time I was super scared, and everybody's like, nah, they just want a few CDs. They're not going to hurt you.
Okay.
And the thing is, you get pulled over a lot, and really they are looking for a few CDs, but that happens a whole lot. You get pulled over, and it's like, you know, somebody asks you, hey, something small, boss, hey, just give me lunch or whatever. And it's like, after getting or going through that several times, it can be a bit of a nuisance. And so I really wish there was less of a,
Give me something.
yeah, got to be honest. You asking me to tell you the truth.
Of course, we have to be honest.
Yeah, that's the part that's kind of harmful because I respect your job and I respect that oftentimes police probably here don't get paid what they should. But everywhere you go, a lot of times, there's a culture of gratuity naturally to Ghanaians, which I respect, but also, it can get overwhelming, man, when everybody is asking you every single time, especially from the police. And like I said, I respect this. I don't want to come from an U.S. American standpoint and impose my culture on it. So I do respect, and like when I have it to give, I do it. But one time I got pulled over, and he was like, "You don't understand." I was like, I did, but I was tired. It was my third time getting pulled over.
Oh, okay.
So he detained me for 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So that's a little different.
Okay.
Right. He threatened to throw me in jail. He
Oh
did.
my God! Really?
Yeah, he did. I was like, well, you're gonna have to take me. And he just kind of sat there and he was like, all right, man, leave. But that's just some of the things that I think could be improved upon.
He has experienced it. So to the government, to the police service, please let's try to, be better of our country, of Ghana, and let's continue to make Ghana the great country that we always, pray for. Of course, we have to be honest.